If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Clearly, young Metro did not trust Marlon, which is why he shot him. Yo, what is up, you lot? My name is Desai. Welcome back, guys, to a brand new Walking Dead video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about did Marlon deserve to die, and why Marlon was actually a really good character in The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 1, Done Running. So the first thing we have to talk about is his intention.
We're not gonna hurt you. Got your boy safe. If you wanna see me, you drop that knife.
Of course, Marlon was an interesting character that I really liked within the first episode. I did not want him to die. I still did not really like the fact that he died. However, it's obviously nothing I can do about it. You know, he's dead. Now we've got to live with the consequences and kind of teach AJ, you know, what's going on with AJ. How are we going to come back from this? And what are the other boarding school characters going to say to us, especially us and AJ? And in particular, Lewis as a person. So the first thing we have to talk about is, of course, Marlon. Marlon's intention was not exactly black and white. It was more of a grey boundary, because in my opinion, Marlon, you know, although he didn't make the best choices, he also made the best out of a bad situation, in my personal opinion. And this is really great, because this is one of the few characters we've ever had in The Walking Dead where it's not just black and white. He's not like Lily, where she shot Carly or she shot Doug, and now, you know, everyone has to hate her. Obviously, she's a murderer and she killed her in cold blood. This is a bit of a different situation, maybe for the fact that we don't know Sophie and Minerva. However, if even just by the context of what we heard in the first episode, it seems like it wasn't just black and white, it was more of a grey situation. What I'm trying to say is, he made the best out of a bad situation and he kind of got killed for it. In episode 1, of course, we learned that he gave away Sophie and Minerva to the Raiders.
If those Raiders come back, Marlon said he'd let him take you.
Take us?
To make him go away. Like he did. Like he did with Tenn's sisters.
It was the best out of a bad situation, because if you think about it, if he gave them away, he got to walk away and he got to save all the other kids. We don't know what the actual interaction was between Marlon and the Raiders. However, I can pretty much confirm that the Raiders aren't good people. There's people who, you know, may be twisted, maybe just sick-minded. And Marlon realized that and thought there is no way we can defend the boarding school, or he as a leader can defend the children if the Raiders come back for him another time, because he did not decide to give Sophie and Minerva away. But I will make a video about Sophie and Minerva and why potentially the Raiders wanted them and not anyone else in particular. So like I said, Marlon made the best out of a bad situation. There's no way him and a couple of kids are going to be able to defend themselves, because what I think and what I personally theorize is Marlon said that, you know, when he tells you this is just us and the kids and the adults left away, etc. And of course Sophie and Minerva were taken away this time last year. I believe maybe the adults actually, you know, either died or left or abandoned the boarding school around last year. And of course this has been the first year where Marlon's actually the leader of the boarding school. And clearly Marlon and the boarding school, since the adults left away, and at the time Marlon didn't have a system to put in place to actually kind of protect, to get along with the day, to hunt for food, etc. He didn't have that in place yet, because obviously the adults just left away, and it's kind of like, whoa, why did the adults just leave? It obviously leaves them in a very vulnerable place, which is quite significant, because now when the Raiders actually met with Sophie, Minerva and Marlon outside the safe zone, as a vulnerable leader, you gotta make bad decisions. You gotta choose the lesser evil between the two. If there's two evil choices, whatever sounds like a less evil choice is probably the better one to make.
I'm trying to protect you!
Now, this is very interesting, and the reason why I say this is not black and white and it's more grey is because what can you do? Would you rather Sophie and Minerva get taken away, or would you rather them not get taken away, potentially get shot or, you know, hurt, and then also come back for the boarding school? Which is why I think Marlon's character is a really interesting character, because I really wanted to learn more before AJ just put a bullet to his head. But of course he didn't make the best possible choices. For 1 year, an exact year, he lied about the situation about Sophie and Minerva being taken away. Now this is something I do not agree with. I feel like this is where he went wrong, because of course if you just lie to someone, like he lied to Tenn saying outside the safe zone, etc., and that is pretty messed up. I'm not going to lie. He should have just said the truth, make a rescue attempt, etc. If he said, you know, yo Tenn, there's a situation, etc., Tenn's going to be very angry and sad at you, but eventually he's going to perhaps see your side, and as a leader how you want to protect all of them. So clearly there's a bit of a, you know, a two-sided story here. I believe it's not the best way to actually go on as a leader. However, since he gave him away, it was only right to actually tell Tenn about the situation, how Sophie and Minerva aren't particularly dead, but they are taken away and they are held hostage and potentially being sex slaves. It's a very dark theme in terms of the Raiders, because what would a bunch of male want to do with young teenage girls in an apocalypse where there is no laws, there is no legal and illegal, there's no right or wrong. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive it, right? You know, it's a black and white situation. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Marlon, what he did was right? He thought of the group first. It reminds me of the cliche, would you kill one person to save 5 people? That sort of thing. So clearly I think Marlon, that was Marlon's mindset, but he felt very guilty about it. Minerva and Violet, it's obviously very much confirmed that they are a lesbian couple, and of course Tenn's sisters, you know, they're both his sisters and older than him, so clearly Tenn would also be distraught, Violet would be distraught, and of course the rest of the group would be very angry at Marlon, and perhaps Marlon would not be alive at that current stage. However, he did think of the group, and I think that's what he did right. However, how he went to deal with the aftermath and the consequences, it was a mistake, and that's how ended up in that particular situation where eventually he got shot by AJ. So in terms of AJ, I don't believe AJ, what he did was right.
I didn't hesitate.
AJ was not justified to shoot him. There's gonna be a whole problem with AJ. AJ just shoots anyone that seems to be a threat, even though he's not really a threat. He had no gun. You know what? I wanted him to either be our prisoner and just so I can actually talk to him and see what is going on, or just even have him stay but not as leader, or have Tenn and Violet decide what they want to do with him. It's a bad situation, but he made the best out of a bad situation, but he dealt with it at the end in the very worst way possible. Anyway guys, that was my personal intake on Marlon and how great of a character he is, because he's not a black and white character. He's a very three-dimensional character, and he doesn't just, it's very nice how Telltale have actually worked with these characters. What do you guys think? Do you guys even understand what Marlon went through, and do you guys even believe what he did was the better out of two evil situations? Or do you guys believe that giving up Minerva and Sophie was just completely wrong, and he should have taken that chance, that risk of getting shot or getting hurt because he is the leader? Tell me what you guys think. Remember, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, of course. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and